These two outside ones are gonna be a bitch, so be mindful of that. And my phone's about to die. But anyway, it's a simple process. There's this little clip piece right here. Instead of trying to pull up on it, just push down on it. Actually, I'm gonna do this one for ease. You just push down on that, apply a little upward force. You actually have to pull out. You need 2 hands for this. Alright, so now that this is loosened up, you just slide it out. And then here's your ignition coil. Looks something like that. So you just look down off in here, make sure nothing's broken. Check here, make sure nothing is broken on here. After I demonstrate, the removal of one spark plug, I'm gonna go back and show you how to check for if your coil is putting out enough power, if the resistor's processing right or everything like that. So I'm gonna set this off to the side. Grab your extender, grab your spark plug socket, mate them to one another. Alright, so after you mated them to one another, simply just go in. Let me slide out the way. Stick it in, get it nice tight on there, and then start to crank it. Once you get it cranking, should just be easy to unscrew. One thing I suggest you get to is some lubrication, spark plug lube. You can use brake lube if you have it. It's all the same lube. Get it at your AutoZone store. Take your mag extender and then just pull the spark plug out. So this is actually a new spark plug. I just put it in a couple of days ago. So looks something like that. Looks still pretty good. Make sure you gap these two. Gap them to 6 millimeters per the manual. You should also use your manual too for other things. But anyway, when you want to put a new one back in, so let's say this is my new one by the way, but let's say you get your new one, everything's quick, simple, easy process. Take your new one, drop it off in there, and then repeat this whole process in reverse. La la la. You just screw the whole thing in there. Come on. Come on. Alright. So. Come on. There we go. You want to make sure that sucker's nice and tight too, because you don't want any oil, any compression coming out. You want this thing to be seated nice and tight, because you want combustion to be as complete and as full as you can get it. So I thought I had tightened this one up last night, but apparently I didn't, because it was relatively easy to get off. Alright. So once you've done that, just pull that bad boy out. And then move on to next. Like I said, these take a bit of force to pull out, so you're going to require 2 hands depending on how good your connections are. But next thing you want to do too is come over here to your owner's manual. I actually have mine on my computer, and you can see ignition coils here. Primary core resistor, you want it in between this range. Secondary core resistor, you want it in this range. This is for 2001 R6, so be mindful of that. So basically what they mean by primary and secondary is the way you're going to test it. So your primary testing is going to be these two up here. Your negative is going to be, when you're looking at it like this, your negative is going to be on your right side, and your positive is going to be on your left side. Your secondary test is going to be your negative up here on the right side, but your positive going off in here into the boot itself. So depending on what type of whatever you call this damn thing. Depending on what type of freaking, shit, never mind, forget it. Anyway, the digital meter, depending on what type of needles you have, will depend on how deep they go in here. So mine are kind of nubby, so it makes it kind of difficult to get up in the boop section, but I can demonstrate to you it being connected through the primary set. So we gonna find some way to sit you down here. Alright, so you cut it on the ohms. You want to do it at 200 and below, because I mean you're not going to get that many ohms coming through this thing. So right now I'm sitting at 1. Once you connect it to, see if you can see all that right there. Stick that in like that. Stick this other one in like so. All you gotta do is make sure that the metal touches metal, and then you should see it flashing and shit. I'm not getting them in here good, but when you do it right, you'll see the numbers flash up. Anyway, the numbers on here need to match up in between this range up here. If they don't, you probably need a new coil. If they're below this number, you definitely need a new coil because it's not producing enough power. If it's above that number, you're having too much current in there, so that could possibly damage and burn out your coil just as well. So like I said, use your owner's manual when you're doing this type of thing. Like I said, mine's electronic, just easier for me. You don't have to, you know, worry about toting that thing around, getting holes stabbed in it, or my dirty ass hands getting it all messed up and greasy. So anyway, once you do that, you just put all that in there, and then you watch my part 1 video, which is actually should be part 2 of how to put all this crap back together. And then once you do that, you should be good to go and ready to ride. So that's all I have. I know this was a little not as good as other videos, but like I said, this is just for first time people doing this kind of thing to their bike. I want to show them step by step on how to do this whole process. So good luck out there, safe riding, always wear your gear, be mindful of everything around you, be situationally aware when you're riding your bike, and have fun. Alright, it's Tuskegee 87 signing off.